Closing more deals isn't the only way to win in real estate. Here's what actually matters. My name is Adam Boxman, and after almost 20 years having the honor of representing hundreds and hundreds of home buyers through one of the biggest moments of their entire lives, I now have a passion to show agents exactly how you can truly thrive and love your life representing home buyers. Buyer agency matters. Buyer If I asked you why you got into real estate, I'm almost willing to bet that one of the reasons why you got into real estate had to do with time. It had to do with your schedule. It had to do with controlling your time. I know it did for me. Personally, for me, I got into real estate 20 years ago after losing my mother 4 months after my wedding. We were dancing at my wedding and we were talking about a future that we just assumed was guaranteed. We were talking about grandchildren and future homes. And suddenly, 4 months later, that time was not guaranteed to us and we lost my mother. I got into real estate because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't losing those moments of my life that I now knew were not guaranteed. So we jump into real estate to get our time back. We jump into real estate to control our schedule, and what happens? We lose all of it. We actually lose that precious asset that we got into real estate to preserve. We start working 7 days a week. We start answering phone calls at all hours of the night and all days of the week because we want to be there for our clients. So we start working overtime all the time, losing the exact reason why we got into real estate. But we get successful and we start thriving in real estate and basing our success on the wrong things. We start having award ceremonies to talk about the numbers of deals that agents do, and we celebrate the amount of money that agents make. But we don't celebrate the time that they're spending to make those deals. We don't even think about it. We don't think about the time that each and every agent that's standing there with that award in their hand spent out of their life. How many moments did they miss from their family to get that award? We don't think about that. We run a business in real estate. We're taught to have a balance sheet and a P&L statement, and we're taught to track important numbers. We start tracking our expenses and our marketing dollar and our gas expenses and all of those things that are line items on our balance sheet and our P&L statements. But we're not focusing on the most important asset that we have. We don't track the most important numbers, the reasons why we got into real estate. We sit at the closing table of our clients and we celebrate the closing. We don't understand that the experiences that our clients have also have to do with their time. So what we're going to do, we're going to start tracking the important numbers, the important data points that are going to actually show us, are we being successful in real estate? Especially with buyers. Especially with buyers. Buyer agency matters. Buyer agency is always going to matter because we've never been just door openers. We're representing our clients during the most expensive emotional and financial moments of their life, guiding them up Mount Everest to one of the hardest things they're going to do in their life. And when we're sitting at the closing table with those clients, we should be celebrating those huge moments of their life. But we should be celebrating those huge moments of their life and also how we got there. The climb matters. So what's the first thing we're going to do? The first thing we're going to do is truly understand the important variables in each and every one of those transactions, in each and every one of those deals that affects our time. Because we're working really hard each and every day for our clients, but we have to understand, are we working effectively and efficiently? Are we missing moments of our life? We're making phone call after phone call to schedule these appointments. Are we rescheduling them? Are they canceling appointments on us? Are we working with buyers that are simply not committed to us? They don't trust us. Are we showing home after home after home to our clients? Where are we losing our time in writing offer after offer after offer? And most importantly, where are you getting your business? Are you fighting for every piece of business you're getting? Are you being forced to do open houses 3 or 4 times a week or even 3 or 4 times a month or whatever? Are you spending all of your time to fight for all of your business? These are the numbers that we need to start tracking to truly see if we're successful. So here's what we're going to do. Now we know where we're losing our time. We're losing our time in showings and rescheduled appointments. Especially with showings. Think about this. On average, agents on average are showing 20 to 25 homes per buyer before they get them under contract. And yet we're celebrating at the closing table these settlements. But we're not understanding that how we got there mattered. Your clients don't want to see 20 to 25 homes just to find the right house. But we don't even think about that. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to start thinking about each and every showing that you're doing for your clients as an hour of your life, a moment of your life, an hour that you could be spending doing maybe something else. And when you start thinking about the moments of your life, especially when it comes to showings, you're going to start focusing on how you're going to make sure that you don't waste your time and your client's time showing home after home, when if you had done 1 minute of research, maybe they wouldn't want to go see that house. So we're going to focus on these variables. We're going to focus on the important numbers that we're going to track. Just like we track our marketing dollars and our gas expenses, we're going to start tracking some really important numbers. So get a pen and paper handy, because I'm going to tell you exactly the numbers I track working with home buyers to make sure I can look at my business and know if I'm either successful and thriving or if I got work to do on my business. The first thing is understanding how many appointments I set and how many appointments people show up for. We work so hard in lead generating to make phone call after phone call after phone call, and we celebrate when we set an appointment, but we need to understand when we set an appointment, what percentage of those people are showing up. So we're going to track our set to met ratio. We're going to understand exactly when we set an appointment, how many people show up. And we start learning that those ratios are off, then we have to get better at setting appointments. The next number we're going to track is our met to signed ratio. When we meet with people, we're going to track how many of those people are hiring us. We're going to understand maybe we need to get better at our job interviews if they're not hiring us. But we're going to know exactly what our met to signed ratio is. When you track these numbers, you're working hard to make phone calls and lead generate and talk to people so you can set more appointments. You have to know how good you are. It's not just how many appointments you set this year. It's what time it took to set those appointments and how many of those people that you met with hired you. If you got to meet with more people to hire you, you're wasting time. All right, now let's get to when your clients are under contract, because we love celebrating when our clients are under contract. We love celebrating the closings, but how we get there matters. We're going to track every single showing that we do for every single buyer so that we can fully understand how many showings we're doing on average per client. We're going to know exactly how many hours we're spending with each and every one of our clients. Why? Because our clients' experience also matters. And the time that they're spending, they're going to benefit from the time we're not wasting looking at the wrong home while the right one is out there. We're going to create those win-win scenarios by understanding exactly how many showings we're doing. And if we're showing too many homes, we're going to get better in the consultation to show our value. We're going to know exactly how many offers we're writing for every single client. Your clients don't want to fail writing 3, 4, 5, 6 offers before they actually win. We're going to understand exactly how many offers we're writing per client so that when we sit at the settlement table, we're going to understand the experience our clients had. Just getting them to the closing table doesn't mean they had a great experience. I can promise you this, when your clients write one offer and they win, they're going to be a lot happier at that closing table than if they had to write 5 or 6 offers to finally win. And guess what? You're going to get your time back, because if you know exactly how many offers you're writing, you're going to know where you can get better if you're writing too many offers. You're going to get better in the consultation and explaining to the buyer how to write winning offers. We're going to understand exactly how many deals that we terminate per client. Because if we get into a contract for a client and we have to actually walk away from deal over deal, maybe we need to set better expectations in the actual consultation so that we're not terminating more deals. And finally, we're going to understand the source of our business at all times, because our goal in real estate is to not fight for every deal. I know for me, I got into real estate so that I could actually create cheerleaders. And so when my source of business became my past clients and I was getting referrals, I knew I was working right. But if you have to do open houses every single weekend, if you have to actually cold call a bunch of people for your whole career, maybe you're not working as efficiently and effectively in creating that business that you want so that your clients actually do refer you and come back to you. Once you start tracking all of these numbers and truly understanding each of these numbers, now you can actually look at your process and working with buyers and get better. If you're setting too many appointments and people aren't showing up, you have to get better in the language of talking to people to make sure they show up for the appointment. If you're meeting with people and they're not hiring you, guess what? You got to get better in the consultation. And most importantly, when they do hire you, they have to actually trust you to climb Mount Everest and follow you each and every way. So if you're showing a lot of homes or writing a lot of offers, or if you're terminating a lot of deals, guess what? Maybe you got to get better in that initial consultation so you can set expectations and get to know your clients and build that trust and commitment so that you can create win-win scenarios for your clients. The first thing we need to do is start tracking each and every one of those numbers that has to do with our time. And I promise you, when you do this, you're going to make it better for yourself and for your clients. If you like anything about this, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Instagram at Adam Boxman. And make sure you understand that every moment matters, so you might as well make it epic.